Hi there everybody, I'm back with another video. This time it's the pre-scene analysis for the November 2024 and February 2025 management or gateway case study exam. We have a lot of students from the FLP route, from the exemptions route, directly taking the management case study exam. And they face a lot of issues understanding what this exam is, understanding what the pre-scene is, and then relating to important E2, P2 and F2 syllabus areas. This pre-scene analysis takes care of everything. Now before I move on, let me tell you that if you're coming from any route, exemptions route, FLP, any route, we have a free mini course for you, and it's specially helpful to help you understand the need of this exam while giving you multiple free resources. The link for this mini course is in the description box below. Just click on it and you can get started. You can get access to a whole bunch of free material, including the CIMA blueprints explanation, the top 10 issues from the pre-scene highlighted, discussed, mock writing tips and tricks with a free 2-question mini mock that is personally marked, checked and corrected for you exactly in the exam standard. All of this to help you understand the need for this exam is included in the mini course. The link is in the description below. Try it out. Coming back to this pre-scene analysis, our pre-scene analysis is very unique and it has delivered guaranteed results. That is why we hold the Global Pass Rate Excellence Award for 2 years in a row. What we do is we take the actual CIMA pre-scene so that we don't miss out on any information and then relate it to your E2, P2 and F2 syllabus areas, pointing out major areas of focus, top issues, while helping you understand our company Shinyglas. Pay attention to my analysis. You won't have to do anything extra. Just be on this ride with me, be on this journey with me, listen to the explanations with concentration and you will find it helpful. My suggestion as an exercise, have a piece of paper with you and write down all the E, P and F pillar topics which I point out, so that you can have a list with you and so that you can revise them easily after this video is completed. This is part 1 of my pre-scene analysis. Let's begin. So let's start. Let me just adjust my screen so you can see it. Let's begin. So Shinyglas manufactures double glazed windows and doors for installation in domestic and business properties. We already know the background of this industry because you have done my industry analysis. If you haven't already, please go back and finish the industry analysis so you'll have a great idea and great points in your mind when you are starting this pre-scene and you won't feel blank. So we manufacture double glazed windows for domestic as well as business properties. We are the largest fabricator of windows and doors in the home country of Templand. Always important to understand that whenever through my pre-scene I find something important, I find something that needs to be pointed out, I will make a text box like this and then relate it to your E2, P2 and F2 syllabus areas to ensure that these are important areas which you understand, then you revise them and then I'll make you do mock questions on them for a full proof learning system. My pre-scene is very unique. We'll take the entire CIMA pre-scene and then we'll break it down and annotate it to the E2, P2 and F2 areas from our experience, from our years of experience, from our years of knowing what the exam asks, knowing what the exam is about. We will relate it to the E2, P2 and F2 syllabus areas and we'll make the analysis for you where you will have to not do anything except for be with me on this journey with concentration and listen to my explanations. I will do all the other things for you. So from these 2 paragraphs, we learn that we are a manufacturing organization, very clear. Sometimes, they give you service organizations as well. Like last time, In the August exam, we had a company called Flat Hall. That was a service based company. This is a manufacturing based company. So when you are doing your E, P, and F pillar revision, concept revision, it's important to keep in mind that you are working for a manufacturing organization, and topics related to manufacturing organizations will be more will be areas that rather you will focus on. But remember that you are a manufacturing organization. Since Shinyglas is the largest fabricator in Templand, you could analyze its competitive advantage using Porter's generic strategies. Because we are the largest fabricator, naturally we are doing something well. So when I go deeper into the pre-scene, I want to see, I will be inquisitive about what is my generic strategy. Am I a cost leader? Am I a differentiator? Am I an innovator? What am I? So your Porter's generic strategy is an E2 syllabus concept. That is why I've got it up. And you could also look into corporate and business level strategies like vertical integration or horizontal expansion into other product lines or markets. Because we are already the largest fabricator in our country, so there might not be more possibility of growth, more possibility of expansion. So vertical integration as well as horizontal expansion could be something that we are looking at, and I've spoken about this in the industry analysis as well as the future outlook for this industry. Now, being the largest in Templand comes with operational risks, including supply chain risks, as you might heavily depend on certain raw materials or suppliers. So your supply chain risks, your strategic supply wheel, the risk management concept from your P2 syllabus is very evident, and all of this is brought up over here because they tell you that you are the largest manufacturer in your home country. So keeping this in mind, very important for us to just note that everywhere we find something important, we'll be bringing it up this way and relating it to your E2, P2 and F2 syllabus areas. Now, if you are a market leader, naturally you're doing something right. But I have, narrowed down 5 things any double glazed manufacturing business must get right. So this is like a summary from my industry analysis, but I've put it over here because I think it makes more sense over here as well. So what are the 5 major things or rather any manufacturing business must get right? Quality control and material sourcing at the beginning. Then an efficient production process. Then obviously complying to the rules, regulations, safety standards. This was your production control. Side by side, you need innovation, product development, something new, and then customer service, after sales support. Any manufacturing business, specifically the double glazed manufacturing business, will have these 5 steps that we need to be aware of. This is true for our company, Shinyglas, as well. So as we move deeper into the pre-scene, we want to see what are we doing for quality control? What are we doing for material sourcing? What are we doing for an efficient production process? What are we doing for health and safety standards? These are points you are being made aware of at the beginning itself, so that you keep an eye out for relations during the pre-scene. Naturally, I will be here pointing out the relations for you, but it's important for you to also be aware of these situations. Let's move on. Templand's currency is T dollars. Let me adjust it a little bit. Templandian company law requires companies to prepare their financial statements in accordance with the International Financial Reporting Standards. F2 syllabus. If you don't have F2 knowledge, you will not be able to replicate good IFRS knowledge. So revision is the place to start with. I keep mentioning this again and again and again. Students still turn out to make a mistake on this. You are a finance manager at Shinyglas's head office. Now the role of a finance manager is much debated. Students are not able to pretty much understand what the role of a finance manager is. So the role of the finance manager generally would be medium-term decision making, investment appraisal, costing related decision, project management, long-term finance, advising the top management. Now, if you think of all of these roles, I can very simply relate them to E2, P2 and F2 syllabus areas, which means that to be a good finance manager, you will need to have good, solid E2, P2 and F2 knowledge. Again, taking us back to the fact that if I have not revised, I will not be able to do a good job on this exam. Because if you see medium term decision making, P2, if they were to ask you or create a scenario in the exam related to, let's say, NPV of a new machine that we are purchasing, but you don't know the concept of NPV, but you don't know what NPV means, the advantages, the disadvantages from the P2 syllabus, how are you even going to start to write that answer? So my straightforward suggestion is, if you haven't revised, then you are not going to have a positive exam experience. And I am giving you the important areas to revise. It now becomes your job to pick those areas up. It becomes your job to revise those areas. Your primary responsibilities are associated with management accounting, and you report to Martin Thwani, Senior Finance Manager, who reports directly to the Finance Director. So they are laying out the very clear structure of your organization over here. So organizational structure and reporting lines are clear. The fact that you report to a senior finance manager and he reports to a director indicates a hierarchical structure. You can analyze the company's organizational design. As we move deeper, we will try to understand the organizational structure that the company has. Is it a tall organization? Is it a flat organization? The span of control. This we will keep in mind, and I'm giving you this syllabus area to revise from E2 straight away right now itself. Next, cost control and budgeting. As a management accountant, you will likely be involved in budgeting, forecasting, cost control. So very important that you have revised the syllabus areas of responsibility accounting. How costs are monitored, how costs are controlled. It will be an important discussion for us to make over here. So when I find something important, I straight away bring it up to you so that you can make sure that you have revised the syllabus area as we move deeper into the pre-scene. So we learned hierarchical structure, tall or flat, tall versus flat organizations, what I'll revise. Next, cost control, budgeting related to responsibility accounting, P2 syllabus is what I'll revise. Let's move on. Your role is crucial in bridging operational and strategic level tasks. You are the bridge between the operational level and the strategic level. So, for example, Martin Thwani's role, who is above you, involves overseeing the financial aspects of the organization, and your inputs, your ideas that you give him, help him make better informed decisions. So you are the thread between the lower level and the top level of the organization. So your role is vital. If you don't suggest well, it could be to the detriment of the organization. So this was the introduction of my company. Now moving on to double glazing. They have given us some background of the double glazing industry, double glazing market over here. What we need to do is make sure that, if you've gone through my industry analysis, all of this is already covered and you have great ideas in your mind. But because it's part of the pre-scene, we will naturally go through it. So traditionally, windows consisted of single panes of glass that were mounted on wooden frames. You can see an example picture over here in front of you. This is traditional. Single glazed windows were relatively easy to install and repair. Unfortunately, they're not good at preventing heat loss. Heat can be conducted through the window because of gaps in the wooden frames. So in cold countries, it was a real problem. A single glazed house can lose up to 70% of its heat through the windows. Depending on the design and construction of the house, 70% can be lost. So it's a huge loss of heat in cold countries. Double glazed windows have two panes of glass with a sealed space between them. So single glazed had these problems. So there was a new innovation called double glazing. The two panes of glass permit much less heat to escape through conduction than a single pane. The sealed space between the frames is filled with either air or an inert gas such as argon, which further reduces the heat loss. There are two glasses. Between them, there will be a small vacuum, a small area. It's sometimes filled with air, sometimes filled with inert gas such as argon, which further reduces heat loss. So this was a new innovation that led to a lot of that led to a lot of change or movement in the market because of how significant it was. Next, houses fitted with double glazing tend to lose less heat through their windows than single glazed homes. A typical double glazed glass will lose 10 to 15% of its heat through windows, whereas it was 70%. You can see how significant the saving was. So we'll do a cost benefit analysis here. The benefits of double glazing, such as heat retention, reduced heating costs, lower carbon emissions, provide a clear value proposition for property owners. So this is something that you can market on, because if your benefits are more than the cost, naturally customers will want to install your product. From a management accounting perspective, you could analyze how Shinyglas can use target costing to ensure that these features are delivered at a price that appeals to customers. Now, target costing is a very, very clear P2 important concept. Make sure you revise it. I've just given you a scenario over here. They can tell you that we are coming up with a new product or one of our existing products. We now want to use target costing to make sure that we can make a 10% margin before we sell it to the customer. Can you explain what target costing is? You'll need your P2 knowledge for this. And I've straight away given you a scenario how it can come up. Next, double glazing is frequently marketed on the basis that it retains heat within buildings and so reduces both heating costs and carbon emissions, making it a sustainable investment for a property owner. So what are the benefits of having a double glazing glass? Reduces heating costs, carbon emissions, sustainability credentials. So these are things that our industry is currently marketing on. If I look at it from the investment appraisal perspective, double glazing products are marketed as a sustainable investment for property owners, which implies long-term savings. So you can link this to your investment appraisal techniques like NPV or payback, where customers may evaluate the initial cost of installation against long-term savings. This is from your P2 syllabus. Shinyglas could use this analysis to frame its marketing and sales strategies, showing how we deliver long-term financial benefits. So P2 syllabus mentioned here, coming up over here very clearly for us. The double glazing is also marketed on the basis that it acts as a sound barrier against street noise. It is more effective at reducing noise than single glazing. So heating benefits, carbon emission benefits, sustainability credentials, noise benefits, these are all things double glazing is marketed on. Double glazing is also quite robust compared to single glazing, which makes it more difficult for intruders to break in. So it's difficult to break as well. It is, however, still possible to break the glass in a double glazed window. It's possible, but it's difficult. So you can link all of this information to how Shinyglas positions itself within the broader market using its sustainability credentials. We already spoke about the benefits that this product has. You need to keep that in mind. The glass used in double glazing is supplied in the form of sealed units. A sealed unit consists of two panes of glass that are joined around the edges by a space bar. The glass and space bar are held together using adhesive that creates a solid seal. You'll see in the image there are two glasses, between it is the space bar, and the air or other gas is trapped in the void created by the glass and the space bars. The glass and the space bar is joined together. There is still a void, a small void. That's where the air or the gas is fit in. And the front view looks like this. Now, it is important that the seal remains secure, otherwise moisture can be absorbed into that void, which makes the window condensed. You'll sometimes see double glazed windows with full condensation. That's because the seal has broken. That is unsightly and blocks occupants' views from the outside, Seals can fail either because of manufacturing defects or because of movement caused by expansion, contraction due to temperature changes over time. Comes in the picture of product quality and reputation. The importance of maintaining a secure seal to avoid condensation is very important. We must analyze how Shinyglas's reputation depends on our product quality. If the seal is not good, the quality is not good, the reputation of Shinyglas will not be good. This is your E2 syllabus quality. The risk of seal failure years after installation can be linked to TQM and continuous improvement. That's where I'm bringing in the E2 syllabus. Because if you are committed to quality, and if that seal is to last for 10 years and it lasts for 10 years, means you are continuously improving. Because if this is not the case, there will be lots of returns, lots of complaints, and we'll not be able to be the leader in the market like we are right now. So this is where E2 syllabus is coming in. Next, these failures might not occur until years after installation. You don't know when the failure is going to occur. So this brings in again total quality management linked costs of quality, like I was just talking about. The cost of quality through inspections at the beginning, prevention and appraisal costs could be high, so that your future internal failure, external failure costs are low. So costs of quality is coming into the picture over here. I'm also bringing in risk management. The risk of product failure due to manufacturing defects links to risk management. If a batch of products has a high defect rate, this could lead to increased costs of repairs or replacements, impacting your profitability. So this is the risk which your business is taking in terms of quality. One very important thing I'm bringing up over here is how we could apply activity-based costing. I'm going to speak about this in much more detail, deeper into the pre-scene, but I feel it's important to bring it up over here. So we should analyze how Shinyglas could apply ABC to identify which processes in the manufacturing chain contribute most to overall cost of quality and how to reduce these costs. If we see that majority of the cost is inspection cost or installation cost or change in the setup costs, for example, if only we are using ABC, then we'll be able to identify that this activity is costing this much, this activity is causing failure, so I need to focus on this activity. So bringing in the ABC concept early, so you are thinking in that direction. This is P2 syllabus, all of it. Cost of quality, risk management, ABC. And also, if regular failures keep occurring, then there will be a risk of returns, compensations, penalties which we might have to pay, and this is your provisions. contingent assets, contingent liabilities, IFRS from your F2 syllabus. So everywhere I get a chance, important syllabus areas are being brought in to make sure that you revise them. We'll be testing you on all different possibilities through these topics in my mock questions, but first you got to revise them. Next, most window glass is manufactured using the float glass method, which is made by floating molten glass on a bed of molten metal to produce good quality glass that is uniform in flatness and thickness. This process results in clarity and low distortion. So float glass method is being used. Float glass can be further processed to change its characteristic. This float glass you can change to toughened glass. It is more difficult to break toughened glass and it's suitable for large windows where security is paramount, like if you're a bank or a commercial organization on a busy street. Toughened glass offers great safety because it breaks into tiny granules that do not have sharp edges. Next, this float glass can be turned into laminated safety glass as well, which consists of two layers of glass that have been fused together with resin between the layers. It is difficult to break through a piece of laminated glass because the resin layer holds the glass in place, even when it's broken, which enhances your security further. So float glass can be turned into toughened glass, laminated glass which has resin between the layers, and frosted glass which is opaque. This we see for privacy. So some cross syllabus analysis that I want to make over here is that the key takeaway is that Shinyglas's use of float glass method allows flexibility in product offerings, from basic glass to specialized products with safety, security, privacy features. So this can be a chance, or this can be an area which Shinyglas now looks to enter into the future as an innovation, as a new product that the company is coming up with. Like let's say tomorrow they can say we are starting with laminated safety glass as well, for example, as an expansion strategy. Because float glass method is pretty much common and pretty much being used. Just small changes will be needed in the production process. Just an idea in terms of expansion, market expansion that came to me, so I gave it to you. Last, we have soundproof glass as well, which reflects more external noise than normal float glass. Good for noisy environments. These sealed units can be made using normal float glass or any of the above alternatives. So these are the different alternatives that can be made from the float glass method. So a large window that grows from your floor level to the ceiling level should be made using laminated or toughened glass, so that anyone who falls through the window will not be cut by those shards of glass. The sealed units themselves are fixed within frames. So any glass that you have is fixed within a frame. And frames are designed to conceal the spacer bars, so that the spacer bars are concealed and it looks like a complete product. Important will be the use of data over here in this business, let's say. Because if we do not have past data of the types of glass windows needed in different situations, the sales figures from past customers, the historical trends in this market, how will we forecast and make our production timelines available accurately? So the use of data in production is very important, and I've just given you an example of why it is important. Windows have to be designed to fit the space and also to allow for the function of the window. The cheapest designs consist of a single sealed unit in a frame that fills the space. Simple. More complicated designs have hinged sections that allow windows to open for ventilation purposes. Openings may be restricted to a few centimeters in the case of windows on the upper floor of tall buildings, or they may be fully openable on ground floors for people to escape in the event of a fire. So the hinges and the application will depend on the situation. Sealed units are supplied by 3 specialist manufacturers, all of whom are based in Templand. Sealed units. So sealed units is the glass with the seal holding the glass and that air or gas, whatever. So that ready sealed unit is sold by 3 specialist manufacturers. All are in Templand. Even major door and window fabricators find it cheaper to buy the sealed units from third parties than it would be to make their own. So major door window fabricators often buy these sealed units from specialist manufacturers such as Shinyglas. Supply chain management and outsourcing to be kept in mind over here. The fact that Shinyglas sources seal units from third-party manufacturers in Templand reflects a deliberate outsourcing strategy over here. So to be clear and so that we are not confused, please remember that Shinyglas is a business that makes double glazed glass. The glass, like we have read earlier in the pre-scene, the glass used in double glazing is supplied in the form of sealed units. So you get that seal unit and then you will be making it into a double glazed glass. So that seal unit is something that you are buying from outside. The seal unit is, like they have mentioned over here, is supplied by 3 specialist manufacturers. Major door and window fabricators, that's Shinyglas included, find it cheaper to buy the sealed units. So we buy the sealed units and then we will make it into a double glazing glass, put it in a frame and then sell it to my eventual customers. But that sealed unit comes from outside. So this identifies and showcases our outsourcing strategy. Something that you are not good at or something that somebody else is good at, you let them do it because it's their core competency and it could be cheaper as well. So the use of specialist suppliers suggests that Shinyglas relies on a long-term partnership, long-term relationship, because if these sealed units themselves are not good in quality, then your double glazed glass, which is put in frames and then sold to customers, is not going to be good. So your relationship with these suppliers will be key, and an outsourcing strategy from your E2 syllabus, both of these concepts are from your E2 syllabus, is very evident, very clear over here. In the future, we could buy one of these supply companies to further vertically integrate, and this could bring in the consolidation topic. If you want to have full control over the sealed unit manufacturing, there can be a situation where you raise finance to buy one of these companies. So if you buy one of these companies, group accounts, associates, joint ventures could come into the picture. And if this company is in a different country, your foreign currency transactions come into the picture. F2 syllabus. You should be clear with accounting for groups, accounting for associates, accounting for joint arrangements. And I just gave you a scenario where IS 21 can also come up, foreign currency. Now, if you've revised it, if you've done a mock question on it, which will be a new scenario, and if it comes up in the exam in any scenario, you have so much good knowledge because you know our company, because you know our business, you have revised the concepts, you have written a mock question, and then you will do a great job in the final exam. That is my guarantee if this system is followed. If this process of learning is followed. This is your F2 syllabus. I hope you are clear about the sealed units buying in situation. The frames used to mount double glazing can be made from different materials. This is where your picture is coming in. So when you receive those sealed units, you need to mount them on you need to mount them on different frames. The frames can be made from different material, the first being UPVC. This is plastic. So UPVC is the type of plastic that can be used to make window frames. It is strong and can be fitted directly into brickwork with no need for a wooden subframe. You can see an image sample over here. So you see the glass with the sealed unit comes from outside. It's fit so that it's double, so that the double glazing is represented, and then it's fit onto a frame. This is the business of Shinyglas. Buy the sealed unit, put it as a double glazing, and then put it in a frame made from UPVC, steel, wood, any other material, and then sell it to the customer whatever they want. So I hope you're clear with the system. UPVC is supplied as a box section that is reinforced internally with galvanized steel or aluminum. UPVC is usually supplied as a bright white box section. It comes as a big box. But it can be manufactured with an artificial wood grain color and texture as well. So colors can vary. It is weather resistant and does not discolor due to the exposure to moisture and sunlight. Very clear that huge capital requirements will be the nature of this industry, as with any manufacturing industry. So your capital requirements, equity, debt, your ratios related to F2 chapters come into the picture over here. Capital management, cost of raising new capital will have to be kept in mind, because this is a highly capital intensive industry. You then have aluminum. So aluminum window frames were popular before the introduction of UPVC. First there was aluminum, then came UPVC, people switched. They are very durable, offering scope for rigid frames that resist warping and twisting. Aluminum does not absorb water, so it does not rust. It is highly suitable for any application that requires strength. So if you need more strength, aluminum is suggested. For example, commercial premises that will have large windows to discourage burglars use aluminum framework that can be fitted directly into the brickwork, but they are usually built into a hardwood frame. So hardwood frame, within it is your aluminum, let's say your aluminum base on which the double glazing glass rests. One disadvantage of aluminum is that it can corrode over time if it is in direct contact with brickwork. So also the working capital cycle will be long here because of the sophisticated material purchase. You are purchasing the material, you are manufacturing, then you are giving it to the customer. So the business cycle management will be important, and capital need is again very clearly evident in this situation. Sorry, just adjusting my screen again so that we are on the same page. Next, there is wood. So wooden window frames can be made from either softwood or hardwood. Some customers prefer wood because it is an alternative natural material. It is particularly well suited for older buildings that have wooden single glazed windows when they were first built. You want the same design, but you want a double glaze. So wood is still used. Wooden windows tend to be more expensive. They must also be treated regularly to resist rot and fungus, more maintenance. Wooden frames are made from lengths of timber that are joined together using techniques such as mortise and tenon joints, adhesives, fasteners such as nails, pegs and screws. Because it's wood, it needs to be made into a window in which the double glazing glass needs to be fit. So all of this will have to be used. Industrial robots can be used to cut lengths of wood to the precise dimensions required to create the frames that fit the wall precisely and can accommodate the sealed units within them. So even in this wood frame manufacturing, there is the possibility of using industrial robots, optimizing your manufacturing process. So this brings me to the idea, why only in wood? The use of industrial robots can be used in wood, in aluminum, in UPVC manufacturing. So Shinyglas can enhance operational efficiency by automating the production of wooden frames, reducing manual labor, and this can be linked to your concept of lean operations and automation, where less and less waste is generated, more and more automation, E2 syllabus. Also, like I said, ABC, I'm bringing it in again. The production of wooden, UPVC, aluminum frames involves different cost structures, particularly in terms of material, labor, use of robots. So again, activity-based costing, because we have different products, different needs, different inputs into different products. Could be the need of the hour. Next. So just pointing this out so that the concept of ABC is clear for you and you go back and revise it. UPVC and aluminum frames are made out of preferred sections of the material. These are supplied in long lengths with standard widths and heights, like you can see in the image here. These sections can be cut to specific lengths to build the frames to your exact dimensions. The sealed units and the frames used in double glazed windows are heavy. So because you will have the glass, two glasses combined to make the double glazed, then the frame is heavy. Mechanical components such as hinges, catches, locks must be robust. So your material has to be good, but your hinges, the other mechanical material that you use will also have to be very robust and will also have to be very good quality to support this particular, just this particular industry or this particular product which you are selling. So this brings up my risk topics over here. As during manufacturing, our workers need to be careful while handling these sophisticated inputs which are heavy, sharp, can cause issues. So your product risk, political risk, health and safety risk, production related risks, even price risks, because you will have to buy these inputs, comes into the picture over here. So your risk management framework, risk mapping from the P2 syllabus, risk related decision making from your P2 syllabus becomes very important and a vital discussion in this situation. Double glazing can be used in doors as well as windows. We spoke about windows, but they're used in doors also. For example, shops and offices frequently have fully glazed doors with sealed units set into metal frames. For safety and security, commercial doors are usually made using toughened or laminated glass. Doors for the domestic market are often made out of wood or UPVC with sealed units set into the doors in order to allow light into the house. So they are used for doors as well as windows. Before I move on, you could also analyze the roles of stakeholder engagement in ensuring that both commercial, domestic clients understand the need of the products that we provide. So your customer management, important over here. And there will have to be a good communication process and flow of information between different stakeholder groups, between people in the organization itself, so that everybody understands the need to market this product to different industries. This is flow of communication, E2 syllabus. Giving you some cross-syllabus analysis, the ability to serve both commercial and domestic market highlights the importance of strategic decision making. From the P2 perspective, the help in managing the various costs is going to be important. On the F2 side, understanding the financial implications of all of these different products, all of this different capital that we'll need is important to keep in mind. So we learned a lot through this discussion. Now to the double glazing industry specifically. Double glazing industry comprises many different companies split between the following categories. First, there are window and door fabricators. There are several large companies who manufacture windows and doors to order for both householders and commercial customers. The largest fabricators have national identities, advertising their products in newspapers, magazines, television, and online. There are also many small businesses who serve local markets. They tend to make doors and windows from hardwood, which requires greater skill but low volume production. So it showcases the nature of competition in this industry, which is highly fragmented. We've learned about this in the industry analysis as well. So it will always be important for us to keep an eye out for external factors, external competition, external analysis will always have to be important in this industry, to know what my competitors are doing and to know what I can do better. Householders can buy anything from just one window or door to a full replacement of their existing windows and doors. Commercial customers such as builders may require a large number of windows and doors because they are making a tower block or a residential housing estate. So a trend in this market has been to choose the online mode for understanding the market and segmenting the market. So how much data do you have? I've already spoken about this as to what customers are buying, what they want, what the need is, what the demand is, what the expansion could be. This relates to big data, data mining, data analysis, from seeing what our customers are ordering, seeing what the market wants. How are we using the data to move ahead of our competitors? This is your E2 syllabus. So second, there are sealed unit manufacturers. I already spoke about this. Sealed units are manufactured by specialists who supply the window and door fabricators and repairers. So first comes the sealed units. They supply it to the window and door fabricators like Shinyglas. Units usually come in standard sizes so that costs can be reduced through mass production. It is, however, possible to make units in bespoke sizes to enable flexibility as well. Then there is installers. So first come the seal units, then the window and door fabricators, then you need to install it, right? So window and door fabricators generally focus on manufacture. They will then subcontract the installation to local specialists who can fit this window. Then there is repair and maintenance, the last part. Doors and windows can require adjustment or repair as they get older. For example, the weight of a heavy door can strain the hinges. So there are specialist repairers who can make the necessary adjustments to resolve such problems. They can also replace defective parts. So first come the seal unit manufacturers, then the windows and door fabricators like Shinyglas, then the installers, then the repair and maintenance. There are 4 major window and door fabricators in Templand. If you look at our revenues, you will see that Shinyglas is close to $300 million in revenue. And our second closest competitor, Vesta Glint, is somewhere at 160, 170 million. So we are almost double the size in revenue than our closest competitor. This clearly shows that we are the leader in this market and we are ready for expansion. We are ready for new challenges, new products, new markets, like I have spoken about earlier. But this is a situation of brand competition, where all 4 are selling the same windows and door fabrication, right? But why are people choosing Shinyglas? Because we have that goodwill, we have that customer, we have that audience with us. So our brand is more superior currently. Brand management will be important for such a big legacy business. Committing to quality will be key. So your TQM concepts become important over here, because if your quality lapses, your revenue will lapse and the business altogether will lapse. We know that we are the market leaders. Some details on market leaders. To be and stay as leaders, businesses need to. So Shinyglas needs to differentiate, expand, prioritize customers, develop better new partnerships, and continue its innovation. Because being a market leader comes with great advantages like profitability, financial capacity, attracting the best possible customers. You are in this privileged position, so you need to maintain it for your company. These companies, so these 4 companies that we spoke about, account for 45% of the Temple Indian market for replacement doors and windows. If anybody wants a replacement door and window, out of 145 customers come to these 4 companies only. Most of the other suppliers are either small fabricators who install doors and windows in their local markets, or are installers who sell locally and rely on medium-sized fabricators to manufacture the doors and windows. None of the major fabricators supply third-party installers. So we will not supply it to an installer and then the installer will sell it to the customer. We will sell it to the customer directly. So by taking the analysis to E2, you can explore how strategic choices influence the market positioning and operational efficiency. From a P2 perspective, controlling costs and managing your supplier relationships are going to be important. I've already spoken about this. And from the F2 perspective, your long-term financial strategy needs to be kept in mind. I've also very clearly spoken of risk management. This is just these 2 paragraphs are like a summary of what we just did to point this out as important areas of discussion. Next, Shinyglas. Finally, up until now we did the introduction. We did the background of what double glazing is. Then we spoke about the double glazing industry. After doing so much, we now arrive to the details of what Shinyglas does, its businesses, its operations, and all of that. So let's start. Shinyglas was founded in 1962. We have been in the market for 62 years and we have become the market leader. Now, naturally, if any business has been in the market for 62 years and has become the market leader, then naturally we have done something right. Naturally, we have customers who trust us, our product is good, so this is your competitive advantage. That you have survived the booms and the recessions in the long 62-year period that you have been active and you have grown. It says a lot about the company that we have done something different. We have continuously innovated. We have prioritized customers. So your company will have goodwill. Your goodwill related concepts in the financial accounting concept are important. F2 syllabus. Know this as your competitive advantage. That you have been in the market for such a long time. Now, a lot of students ask me, why are we doing the pre-scene in so much detail? There are 3 major reasons. The first one is without the pre-scene, you can't answer in the exam because the exam is going to be related to Shinyglas. If you don't know what Shinyglas is, you can't answer. Second, when we do the pre-scene in so much depth, you get great E2, P2 and F2 concept ideas to study. You get so many topics, important topics that you can revise and be ready for mock questions and then the final exam. Third, all of this information that we are giving you, by going through the pre-scene multiple times, you will be able to take ideas from these explanations that we are providing, these boxes that we are providing, these underlines that we have done, and then use it when the time comes in your answer to add value. For example, if you're writing something about goodwill, you can start your answer by saying, we have been in the market for 62 years. And then just go on. This tells the examiner that you have studied the pre-scene. You have gone through the pre-scene. And then naturally you will get credit for it. You will get marks for it, your business skill showcases in your answer. The more you know your company, the more times you go through the pre-scene, the better your approach will be. So please remember this, that all of this discussion and text boxes are not being done for any other reason rather than helping you. So please make sure that when you go through all of this, you take those ideas, go through it again. Deep down, you should have these ideas ready in your mind so that you can use them when you go to mock question writing. So that has got me to the end of pre-scene part 1. If you see, in this 1 hour itself, you have covered the basics of this company. We started with that. Then we went to the double glazing market, then the double glazing industry overview. Then we started to speak about Shinyglas. All of this was analyzed, and I think I've already given you 15, 20, maybe 25 topics of E2, P2 and F2 pointed out as important areas for your revision. We still have another, let's say 2 hours, 2.5 hours remaining on the pre-scene where we discuss Shinyglas in detail, and then we go through the financials in detail. The same way we went through part 1, the same way we'll continue to pick up topics from E, P and F pillars, making sure that everything is pointed out to you, you understand the company, and then you have great ideas to use when you finally go to mock question writing. We are here to support you on this journey. I hope you found part 1 helpful. If you have any questions, please write to us on help@finntutors.com. You'll receive a personalized response. Or you can visit our MCS page, finntutors.com/MCS, to check out the full offerings that we have, our full pre-scene analysis, our mock questions on the topics that we have pointed out in this pre-scene analysis are there to support you, to help you eventually pass and do well on this exam. We are sure you can do well with our material, and that is why we hold the Global Pass Rate Excellence Award for 2 years in a row. We are here to support you, here to assist you. Let us know if you have any questions. Thank you for being here for part 1.